Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Back to some reviews after a couple of weeks off. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at some more bourbon reviews. And today we're gonna jump right in to the new special release from Jack Daniel's this year, the Coy Hill. A lot of folks have been talking about it. There are a bunch of various single barrels that are coming in generally right around this hazmat or 140 proof. Super high. You could read about the stories. I'll try and put a link down below to give you a little bit of press release information about that. They are non-age dated, but if you look here on the collar, it does talk about when the bottling date was, and people are deducing from that. They're generally about 9 years old. So to me, you know I've talked about some of the Jack Daniel's single barrels before. We've talked about some of the Old Forester products before, birthday bourbon, the barrel strengths. We've talked about King of Kentucky, so I'm excited to see another Brown-Forman product out here, specifically one with a big age and proof statement there. And we're gonna dive right on in to this nose. This nose is so intoxicating. You've got these maple candied bacon notes a little bit, so it's a sweet meets savory in there. Oh, it's super creamy. You get fig, you get date, you get a lot of leather, you get some chestnut in there. There's a little bit of pecan pie. Man, that is something else. It's spongy, it's dense, it's soaked fruit and antique leather and slightly dry oak. Let's go ahead and jump into the taste. And the color is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Does it have a lot of heat? It does have a good surge of heat right away, but nothing like you would think for over 140 proof. This one is 142-ish proof. Really juicy on the front of the palate, kind of drying on the back of the palate. Let's go in for a little bit more. I love that it has these old, antique, dried oak, slightly tannic, charred oak, leather characteristics to it. It does have a little bit more of that maple sweetness to it. Some really good spice that sits on the palate and continues on. It doesn't really bring me any spearmint characteristics. It gives me fruit. It gives me some dark fruit. Not really a lot of red fruit, but a lot of dark fruit, dried fruit, purple fruits. Not really the focus of this. It moves from kind of juicy on the front to kind of saturated sugar browning, charred wood and oak and leather pretty easily with a long, dry finish. Now I feel like it has to be said, if it wasn't already, since these are single barrels, they are going to vary in proof. They're going to vary in people's experiences. So as you all find reviews that are out here, keep that in mind. Not everything is going to be the same. This is the second bottle of this that I have tried, and both of them have been really enjoyable. The first was a little bit more decadent, vanillas, caramels. This one, lots of brown sugar, very oaky with a slightly fruit front. The thing that I love so much about this particular single barrel, and I'm not going to get those pours in order to compare to it because I just know that it exists. This particular bottle that I'm drinking tastes like a mix between old labeled Elijah Craig barrel proofs. It has a slight touch of characteristics that I've known from like the 2014 era kind of George T. Stagg, and then has a lot of similarities, most similarly in this umbrella to the King of Kentucky, with those deep kind of char, chocolate, espresso, a slight bit of fruit, leather, oak notes. It leans more towards that. But I have to mention the Stagg and the Elijah Craig barrel proof because those both have this slightly drying, slightly tannic, but very enjoyable wood note to them that I don't often get in King of Kentucky. I feel like King of Kentucky leans oaky, but a little bit more worn leather. And the George T. Stagg and the Elijah Craig barrel proofs that I'm referencing do have a little bit more tannic oak quality, a little bit of nuttiness that mixes with the other flavors that I've talked about. So to me, this pour is a marriage of those bottlings. So for something that is coming in at $70-ish, something that is 9 years old, the flavor that is coming out of this barrel is compared to some of the very hard to get epic bottlings of other products that we've had before. I mean, we talk about King of Kentucky, that's gonna be around a $250 if you were to find that MSRP. George T. Stagg, right around $100, but very, very difficult to find. Older bottlings of it, like I've been talking about in the Vault series, even more difficult to reacquire if you didn't when those came out. Elijah Craig barrel proofs are the most easy to acquire. And while I am one who says that some of the older ones do taste a little bit better than the newer ones, this does have a little similarity to Elijah Craig barrel proof in general. But I think that the maturity of age and the way the flavors come across the palate do remind me of more of the older ones than it reminds me of the newer ones. All right, guys, maybe a little bit of an unfair review, but I am thoroughly enjoying the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Coy Hill, specifically this bottle that I am drinking today. Fantastic pour. This would definitely be going in on my list. A surprise, but one of my favorite products that has come out this year. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you've tried Coy Hill. Let me know what you've thought about the Jack Daniel's special releases in general. I feel like they've been hitting a lot of bangers year after year after year. The rye last year was really enjoyable, and I love to see the stuff that's coming out from them and some of these special products coming out from Brown-Forman. I mean, to me, this product beats all of the Old Forester barrel strengths that I've had. It beats probably the Old Forester birthday bourbon from this year, and you know that I really enjoyed the flavor pocket there as well. I've not put them side by side. Maybe that's something I'll do down the line, but in general, the flavors out of this bottle are exceptional. Thanks so much again for tuning in, everybody. If you all want more content, tune into the Entry Proof podcast. That's a podcast to do with Drew P. Whiskey. He's also here on YouTube, and we're generally live on his channel on Thursday nights. Want to support the channel, have access to barrel picks, and get other behind the scenes information, support what I'm doing here and what Drew is doing on his channel? Consider supporting us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/entryproofpodcast. A whole bunch of links will be down below for you all to check out. Until next time, everyone, we'll see you all later.